just wanna look some more, and I won't be satisfied. There's nothing left that I haven't tried. For some people it's an easy choice, but for me there's a devil and an angel's voice. Well, I don't know what I am looking for, but I know that I just wanna look some more. Well, I don't know what I'm living for, but I know that I just wanna live some more. You hear it from strangers and you hear it from friends, that love never dies and love never ends. And I don't wanna argue, no, I don't wanna fight, 'cause you're always wrong and I'm always right. Well, I don't know what I am living for, but I know that I just wanna live some more. I used to be involved and I felt like a king. Now I've lost it all and I don't feel a thing. I may never grow up, I may never give in, and I blame this world that I live in. I visit hell on a daily basis and I see the sadness in all your faces. I've got friends who are married and their lives seem complete, and here I am still stumbling down a darkened street. A darkened street. And I act like a child and I'm insecure, and I'm filled with doubt and I'm immature. Sometimes it creeps up on me, and before I know it, I'm lost at sea. No matter how far I roam, I always find my way back home. But I don't know what I've been waiting for, but I know that I don't want to wait anymore.
Okay, so that was What I'm Looking For by Brendan Benson. And I just want to say that I'm glad to be joined today by a very special guest, one of our impressive new members to AgileVentures, and it is Harshdeep. Harshdeep, how do you pronounce your name, your full name, if you want to tell us?
Yeah, it's Harshdeep Kanhai.
Okay, I'm gonna have trouble with your last name, so I'm just gonna go with Harshdeep.
Yeah, it's Kanhai.
Kanhai.
No, yeah, you could just call me Harsh.
Oh, you're okay with Harsh? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. And you have the handle on Slack. You go by HDK.
Yeah, Harshdeep Kanhai, actually.
Yeah, cool. And that's a really cool logo you got there. So for today, Harshdeep and I don't know what we're gonna do. That's the whole point of the daily code kickoff, is to try to get motivated to work on something. And so let me just clear out the board here. So Nick joined us all 3 days last week. And yeah, so what we do here is we sort of just announce what we're going to work on over the next day, and sort of to be held accountable, or you could think of it more positively, like you're trying to motivate yourself to get to work on something, and so that's the whole
Okay.
point. So I think since you already know the format, I think I'll just go ahead and ask you, what are your plans, Harshdeep?
Yeah, today I'm going for my coaching classes. After that, I will when I come, I will work on that MedPlus project,
Mm-hmm.
and after that, I will do some game development. And at night, I will join any AgileVentures events we have.
Okay, yeah, I did see that you were asking, I think in one of the premium channels, I think it was maybe in your premium channel, about
Yeah,
game development,
yeah,
and Matt told you about this channel that we have over at AV,
AV Gaming.
AV Gaming. Yeah, so Nick, who joined us last week, he started the channel and was kind of looking to, you know, get to work on something here, and it's actually right here, this channel, and I don't think I was in the channel. I barely participated at all. It was mostly these guys, and I'm not so sure that we got too far with anything. But maybe I'm just not up to date. And
Okay.
so with you, with the experience that you have, maybe you could help us out here. And so, can I ask you a little bit about your game development, um, or maybe you did mention that you've done some Twitch live streaming of gaming. What
Yeah,
what
yeah.
are they the
I
same?
play I play some games like what is that game? Uh, I stream Fortnite sometime,
Oh
and
yeah, okay.
Assassin's Creed's. Last night I was trying to do Assassin's Creed's Origins.
Yeah, I've not heard of it.
Assassin's Creed Origins by Ubisoft.
Okay, okay. I think
Yeah,
actually, I think maybe I've heard of it, maybe, but maybe
it's a
just
famous
once.
game.
Well, I don't game at all, so uh, yeah. So
Do you watch movies? Do you watch movies then?
uh, yeah, a little bit, a little bit. I'm pretty bad at that too. Um, so forgive me if I don't know exactly the game that you're talking
No
about.
problem. No problem.
My nephews are into gaming a lot, so I know a little bit about it. And so, in terms of development, what were you looking at to do there, or what have you been doing, if you don't mind me asking?
I think I will use HTML5 uh, phaser engine for game development.
Um, and what's the first name of that?
What?
What is the name of that? The first word?
Phaser, PHASER, phaser engine. Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah.
it's for HTML5 game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's look that up for a second. Let me make sure I didn't switch. Here we go. So phaser. HTML5. A fast, fun, and free open source HTML5 game. Have you been using it long?
I will start using that. Means I have done some tutorials. I will start. I don't have a design guy. I have bad at design for game. I
Okay.
need a design guy. I am good at development, but I need a design guy.
Yeah, designing is tough. So I'm just checking it out. Huh. What device is this? So this is just like, it's not like a Switch, is it? Like it would. Could you play it on a Switch? Probably not, right?
No, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you could launch a Switch engine. It's for HTML5 means browsers and any browsers.
Yeah. It's just that this looked like. I guess that might be like an iPad or an iPhone. I guess, yeah, or a phone. Yeah. I had games.
Browser for Switch we could use Unity.
Right. Okay. See, I have heard of Unity.
Yeah.
It's really interesting that how sometimes when you're learning to code, you'll start with some of these really simple, really old games.
Yes.
Like there was one I remember a while back when I think I was just learning Python, and I never used it before, and so there was a course on Coursera that
Okay.
yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
you know
I
what I'm
have
talking
done
about?
many courses in Coursera.
Yeah, it was the one at Rice University.
Okay. I
Uh,
think I have also done that.
and they're using like this old video game called like Space Fighters or something like that. Yeah, it was this one here.
Federico, where are you located?
Kansas, United States.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this course right here. And by the way, you don't mind telling everyone that you're in India, correct?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, we just told everyone, so. Yeah, it's this course here, so it's like, I don't know, it was one of the very first Coursera courses back in like 2012. And
Okay.
yeah, I just need this. Anyway, the point is that you can start off not coding like, modern games, but the really old ones. Because, obviously they're
like Mario.
not even like Mario, but like those, very, very
Tetris.
2D. Yeah, very 2D ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's really interesting to hear that you're into these. I mean, I think now that we're doing, a little bit of Twitch and, a little bit of interest in gaming, we should really
Yeah.
sort of step into that market. If you're thinking of it like a business, but AgileVentures is a nonprofit. But to try to like reach out to,
I just do for open source. I don't for profit. I don't do that for profit.
yeah, that's good to hear. Nothing wrong with for-profit as long as you're like a ethical company.
Yeah.
And so I mean, there's in Twitch, obviously it's all about gaming. There's a little bit of coding going on here and there. I haven't explored it a whole lot, but I think sort of as a bridge, we could be coding video games, right? And
We could. In future, I think video games will be like human-like, means their graphics will become too much real.
yeah, and you never know. Well, I mean, it kind of is heading in that direction.
Yeah.
But like in the more near term, we could be, this game development that you're into, and these other people at AgileVentures who are into gaming, or at least coding games. We could be streaming that to Twitch,
Okay.
and it might get a bigger audience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the gamers maybe want to learn to code. They see that
Yes.
that coding, that gaming is big, and they can maybe start coding the games. Anyway, so for today we got a little bit off track, but that's totally fine. At the Daily Code Kickoff, we're not I'm trying not to have this be so strict in terms of like name every single thing you're going to work on, and then we'll go from there. Kind of like to have a dialogue from the very beginning. So you did list off most of your plans though, and there was this, you said you were going to work on AV stuff, AV related. At night, you said. After everything.
Yeah.
That's great. You've been doing. Go ahead.
It will be good timing for means AV events usually happen at my night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's sort of a good thing and a bad thing, because
it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Well, I mean, AgileVentures is based out of originally out of the UK. Now we have a United States branch, and so but overall it's global. You know, we have people from everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
And so, you know, with the time zones, it's just really hard to. For some people, it's at night. When
I joined AV a year ago, but I joined AV a year ago, but my premium membership started means from this year.
Right, and that's another thing, sort of getting people aware of all of our events.
Yeah.
And yeah, but like if go ahead.
I posted a link of AV on my YouTube, Facebook channel, so everyone could see.
Yeah, awesome. That's really cool. If you look at the actual calendar, if I could get over there. Okay, never mind. My computer doesn't want to show me Vivaldi. It says application not responding. Even though I can see it right here. I was going to show the calendar. I might just show it here in a minute. Yeah, if you look at let me just go to a different browser. So this is the advantage of having more than one browser going. But
yeah.
But then again, I have 8 different browsers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it. It keeps me organized. There's sort of just a small window of, relatively speaking, there's what is it, like a fourth of the day where AgileVentures activities happen. And yeah, so it's really 6 a.m. UTC to 12 p.m. UTC, except for this daily code kickoff now, which as I'm sure you've noticed, I've posted the relative times. Like it's at noon in Sydney, Australia. It's 7 a.m. over where you are. It's 8:30 in New York. The day before, actually. Okay. Yeah, it's 7:30 here, technically my time. Yeah, and so, and actually I said that wrong. It's from 12 p.m. UTC. These are my local times. 12 p.m. UTC to 6 p.m. UTC.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's good for you that time, which is awesome. Except for it is still that small window, so it's good to have more events actually happening at different times of the day, so that we could get more people throughout the world involved and making contributions.
Yes.
Yeah. So on that note, I do want to go to what I'm working on. So for today, I think I'm behind on doing PR reviews. So I do want to try to catch up with that.
Okay.
And
yeah, I have to go with my coaching classes.
Okay.
Yeah. I will watch the video later. You will do stuff.
Yeah. No, and I want to thank you, Harshdeep. It's really nice to have you on. And feel free to come back anytime.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Harshdeep. See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So I think I'll just turn up the music for a second. And this is a Sam song. A song added by Sam.
I've been known for a while now, but only to gain my power. I've been fighting my demons, and I'm back upon my feet. The harder you fall down, the stronger you come out later. Man, I feel like an army, and I've only just begun. I've only just begun. I've only just begun. Hey, give me all you got. Bring a brand new
So I forgot also while I'm playing some music, I forgot to log into
I'm coming right back like a boomerang. Yeah, I'm back like a boomerang. Yeah, I'm back like a boomerang. You've been trying to change me, but what's the point if I'm not me? Yeah, I'm alone when I hit the lights, alone with someone else. And I've only just begun. And I've only just begun. Hey, give me all you got. Bring a grenade and your loaded gun. Hey, trying to take me down. I'm coming back like a boomerang. Oh, yeah, I'm back like a boomerang. Yeah, I'm back like a boomerang.
So I'm not quite sure what happened. We stopped streaming at some point, and so I apologize for anyone who might have been watching. Back on now, and I'll just have to review the tape later to see at what point I stopped streaming. So Harshdeep had to go. I was just playing this song as he left. This song that Sam put in. And while I actually think about what I'm going to work on myself, we kind of got into talking about video games and AgileVentures being a global nonprofit, which was, a good conversation. I did, at the very least, record it. It, at the very least, got recorded sort of locally to my video, and it's been recorded the whole time. So, if it was just for a minute that I stopped streaming, I'm not sure. I'll have to check. Then I'll post a video on YouTube. If it was like a lot longer than that, if it was just like 30 seconds, I might not do that. So anyway, let me go back to the notes and try to write those down. And while I do that, let me turn up the music a little bit.
Give them the fame, God, are you worried that if that's not quite clear? Twitch, all that look unfit. I remember falling, I remember marching like a one-man army through the blaze of glow and coughing. I believe in something. I don't wanna remember falling for your lies. I'm button your clothes, I'm dressed so show them your vigor.
So I'm behind on looking at the board on these. So that's definitely enough work. I'm gonna try to at least do one review of each of these, and I think the longest standing one is probably one of Daniel's PRs on Champion 1. So let me see if Vivaldi has started working again. It doesn't look like it, so I'm just gonna restart Vivaldi so I can sign into GitHub. And I guess while it's doing that, I could just download the repo. So let me see which terminal I'm showing here. I'm not showing a terminal, so 1 second. Okay. Okay, so this is from when we were working on Dockerizing Championer 1. And so Championer 1, for anyone who doesn't know, that's sort of the Phoenix app, the Phoenix website for Championer, championer.org. We have it on staging right now. And we're just needing to Dockerize it, put in a little more content, and then take it live to production because it's just about ready to go. So that's this ticket way up here, 116, that we were working on last Thursday. And so yeah, Vivaldi's just having a hard time starting up. Let me just try one more time. Should I switch to Chrome? Oh my god. I use it and I have to use Chrome enough. I'm not hardcore like Greg over at Human Connection. That is like anti-Google, but yeah, I prefer not to use it. Oh, so I thought I was hitting Q. So let's see. You know what I do like about like Vivaldi and Opera and Brave and Epic is that they all use the Chromium engine, which is open source, which Google uses for Chrome. So, like in terms of the settings, it's all almost identical. It's like, so I'm up to date on the branches here. So the ticket that I was gonna look at was so I'm just gonna switch over to like Brave. I'll show you guys Brave if you don't know it. So it'll take a second to load. While it's doing that, I'll just head over there on Opera. I'm sure you guys like how this is turned into the daily browser kickoff. And so yeah, let me just while Brave is opening up, I'll switch over to Opera. And since it's running, I'll go to GitHub, championer-org, championer 1. And I use Opera without cookies, so I don't sign into anything. And so I'm just opening up Brave over here with cookies. So if I look at the pull request, yeah, and so give me 1 second to show you Brave, and I think I'll show you like the settings. So I'll show you two windows here real quick. See if you look at these settings there. Exactly the same as Chrome. Canary is done by Chrome. Epic, it's almost exactly the same. So if you're used to it, even the extensions, they're mostly widely available. It's not 100% coverage. There's some, like, I guess it might be Brave who's a little bit limited on plugins and extensions. And then you have like Opera Neon, which doesn't allow any extensions at all, any plugins. Yeah, anyway, so gosh, enough browser talk. But I do like that it keeps me organized. So this is with Brave on the repo, and yeah, I'll sign in here when I need to. I don't think I'll need to immediately. We have that ticket that Mike is working on to upgrade. Hopefully, let's see, did he push up? No, I don't think he's pushed up his recent stuff, but he did make some progress on this with the help of, I think some help from Matt, but mostly from Joseph. And I think Sam helped out a little bit. But yeah, it looks like he hasn't updated this for a few days. So I'll just leave that there until he pushes up the latest. It was this one here that I wanted to look at. And now that I look at it, it's not passing CI. So let me make sure I made a comment on this. And I did not. Yeah, I let this one slip by. It's 17 days on this one. I think I sort of saw it that it didn't pass the CI. And maybe I was waiting for Daniel to say something. And what this does is, if we look at this other ticket, yeah, let's try to figure out. So Sigu graciously created a ticket, yeah, very good one here. That it's a sort of a refactor ticket. So if you guys are into Phoenix, this is embedded Elixir. So this is, kind of like HTML, but with Elixir. And if you know Rails, it's kind of like embedded Ruby. And so we have this really interesting thing here where we're rendering this partial. Let me make this a little bigger to make sure it's showing. We're rendering this partial for the background video for the home page, and if I go to that page here, it's what is it? It's staging. It's actually Champion 1 staging. At HerokuApp.com. So that'll take a second to wake up the server, the dyno. And while it's doing that, yeah, so this was partially to make sure that the background video is only showing on the index page, where before, the way we had it, it was showing on all the pages, the contact page, all the pages. And so it's doing a check here if the template is the index, and if the module is the actual page view module. And if it is, but because, and the reason for that, just to be a little more clear, in the page view, we have a few other pages. I'm not thinking of them right now, but like all the other ones, like donation, partner with us, donate, partner with us. All of these are in the page view. And this is, by the way, how it works now. So this does work now. So when we go back to the index page, it does play the video, and I did allow this, so I don't know why it's not playing. Let me just reload it quickly. Yeah, okay. And so it's routed, this is the index page, right? The index template. However, there are like other index templates, like specifically like the list of volunteers. So this is a little tricky. It's not volunteer, it's volunteers. And actually, I think I can go down here to volunteers. We don't have Postgres hooked up yet over on Heroku, so that's why it's showing this. But this is an index, right? It's routing to the index template. And so when we go back here, we have to make sure both that, actually over here, both that it's not like the volunteers, that it's not like the volunteers index over here, and that it is the index, but it's not like any of the other pages. So if both of those match, then we render the video like this. The thing about this is that this is a pretty long line. I don't know how many characters that is. And before in the PR, we had sort of a nested if, and which I was okay with because it would avoid this really long line when your code is really big, like for showing for Twitch streaming sessions, like over on code, Visual Studio Code. It's a little hard, right? And so Sigrid suggested creating a helper function here, and it would be in the view and call it index page, and if it fits, then render this. And so that was his guidance there. If we go back to look at this PR, why it didn't pass, was always giving me false, although when logging to console it was showing. And the length is 1. So he used current path. You always have to pass in the current path, and that gets passed in. So the current path might be the root, and if it equals 1, which is true to the index, yeah, I guess that would be true. So I guess the thing is, why didn't it pass? CI. So it was just a Credo. Credo is kind of a linter for Elixir code. And if we look at that, that's probably because of that pipe that he wrote. And it says it should start with a raw value first. And if we go back and look at that, so it was, I guess what I'll do is go over here, just to leave that other window open, and open this up again. And let's take a look at his actual code. He did refer to it there, but let's actually look at it. And so this right here, it starts with current path con, where creator is complaining you would want to start it with actually con piped into current path, and with an arity of 1. So I guess I might show that here in 1 second. And that's here. And because this seems fine, this is a raw value here, piped into map, and always in Elixir with the pipe operator. the very first argument right here before this ampersand is what's piped in, the raw value. And so, yeah, but this has nothing to do with this. This is from his previous PR. So, yeah, I mean, this would be fine. I mean, the easiest thing would be to just plop that into the helper method. This exact thing into here. His version is like, I don't know. I don't know if it's easier to understand or worse. It might be easier. This might be confusing. It took me a second to explain that, right? You have to know about view templates and view modules and page views, what that is. This might be a little more straightforward, the current path. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'm fine with this. It's maybe easier to understand. So the only thing is just this needs a little bit of refactor to pass in the con. And so that should allow it to pass. I won't actually load that up locally since I'm just gonna provide some feedback. So I'll show you guys what that actually means. And so I'm not logged in, so I can't do a review, so give me 1 second. And in the meantime, I'll turn up, what is this that we're playing here? This is, oh, Mozart. And am I showing this? I'm not showing this. There we go. So let me type in my password and everything. Okay, so I'm just gonna like copy that part and okay, so a couple of things. I could do this, but I'll wait on updating it. I'll just go to add the review and say that Daniel, this isn't passing CI because Credo is complaining. And I'll just to show you guys and to be explicit in terms of what is necessary. You know, I might not normally show the answer, I guess, if you want to think of it that way. So I'll extract this. And we could have it be just like this, or not, like this. The other solution, which I don't mind, is like this. So let me surround that. So that it shows up. Okay, so Credo is complaining, and let me just make sure. I might post a screenshot of this. So yeah, it needs to start with a raw value. So it wants the pipe, this pipe chain, to start with a raw value instead of a function, which they don't explicitly say that, but that's implied. So either this or this would work. Okay, that is a request for changes. And that'll go out. Let's see, how am I doing on time here? I think, yeah, sorry for the late start, by the way. Yeah, let me type that out. I guess I'll wrap up. So just posting that on the chat. Yeah, so I guess I did a PR review there of sorts. Let's see, to reflect. I need to catch up. So I got these. Hopefully I'm not blocking anyone over here on the Amble project. Ujal is still putting in, doing a lot of PRs, not PR reviews and PRs actually. Plenty of PRs too. But he's kind of throwing it out there that he would like some help. So that's a signal for me to help out. But as opposed to where like in Championer, I'm pretty much the only person doing that. The reviews, Synchrony, same thing. AB Dashboard, Michael is doing most of the PR reviews. So yeah, but over the last weekend, Peter has put in a lot of good PRs for Synchrony, and I'll just show you as I close here. I'll just show you like what one of the things he already worked on, which he posted on, where did he post that? Was it on Phoenix One? I think it was, yeah, it was right here. So here's the artist bio. He's got in the making there. And yeah, it's gonna look nice. He's doing great work. Yeah, we started off with the artist profile as opposed to like the causes and the performances. That's mainly because Brent's wireframe, his mock-up, was for the artist. And so that really helped us out. And yeah, it's gonna look nice. Good job, Peter. Keep up the good work. So on that note, I will wrap up for today. I think I'm going to speed up this 14-minute Mozart song. And rather than wasting more time, yeah, I really want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank Harshdeep. We may or may not have Faith join us tomorrow. We shall see. I'll try to start on time. But yeah, thanks everyone. On that note, let's go to some Wilco and some Billy Bragg. So, thanks everyone. Good night.
I like to rest a heavy head tonight on the bed. California stars, I like to lean out. Weary bones tonight on the bed. California stars, I love to feel your hand touching mine. Tell me why I must keep working on. Yes, I'll give my life to lay my head tonight on the bed of California stars. I like to dream my troubles all away on the bed. California stars, jump up on my star bed, making up the day underneath. My California stars, they hang like grapes, our bands that shine in warm lovers' glass, like friendly wine. So I give this world just dream of you on our bed. California stars. I like to rest my heavy head tonight on the bed. With California stars, I like to lean out. Weary bones tonight on the bed. California stars, I love to feel your hand touching mine. Tell me why I must keep working on. Yes, I give my life to lay my head tonight on the bed of California stars. I like to dream my troubles all away on the bed. California stars, jump up on my star bed, making up the day underneath my California stars. They hang like grapes, all bands that shine, warm love's glass, like friendly wine. So I feel this world just a dream of you on our bed. California stars.